Hey everybody, welcome back to Culz Book Reviews. In kind of celebration of Jaws' 50th anniversary, we figured we would finally check out Jaws Unmade, the lost sequels, prequels, remakes, and ripoffs by LeMay. Now if that title sort of rings a bell, it's because we have previously checked out Kong Unmade, which was John's book covering the history of King Kong, which was fantastic. And of course, I've been wanting to read this, really a big Jaws fan, but wanted to save it for when we finally did a deep dive into Jaws, because I knew we would at some point. It does kind of have the hints of a true story with the loose inspiration of the 1916 attacks and such. So I knew at some point it would pop up, and obviously because it was the 50th anniversary this year, it did pop up. And luckily, John himself was able to join that discussion and give us some insight just from his research, and we thought it was a great time. So of course, if you haven't checked that out, make sure to click that link above. But let's take a look at the book itself. Alright, so up top you see the author's name, John LeMay. You see a picture of the shark, in this case from Jaws 3. You see the title, Jaws Unmade, the lost sequels, prequels, remakes, and ripoffs. And I really do like how John did these ones. It's similar in style as the Kong Unmade one, which was, I think, the first two books I bought from John. But I just like the hardcover and just layout of the book. It's just really nice. This one's a tad different, whereas that one was the orange with the picture of the ape on the front. This one's blue, I guess, kind of matching that the shark is in the ocean, with obviously that red font, which should harken back to the Jaws title. On the side we see Bicep Books, Jaws Unmade, and LeMay. And on the back you see some of the titles covered within here, Lost Films Galore. You can see all those, as well as a picture of the shark from this film. And of course, down below is the ISBN if you need it. The book itself clocks in at 302 pages. And as I flip through, you see that there is lots of writing, but also lots of pictures, be it movie posters, concept art, or stills from the film itself. So lots of really good content in here, so let's get to my thoughts. Alright, so Jaws Unmade, just like all of John's other books, is really well written. You can really hear John's voice coming through. Yes, it is going to go through a lot of the history and kind of facts, but it's never boring. It's always fun, and I think that is something that John does really well. I know we've touched upon it in the UFO books, because those ones are very notoriously, at least for me, they feel kind of repetitive, and I think something like this, or the Kong Unmade one, could also fall into that trap. But I think because John interjects his thoughts and his feelings on the films as he watches them as well, definitely makes it a lot more enjoyable than if someone else had taken the steps. So I think as far as the writing structure and writing format and just writing skill, John definitely excels in that. Also, lots of great research from the different films in here, and covers a lot of fun topics that, you know, he kind of mentioned in that Jaws deep dive, but obviously goes more in depth here. So, you know, make sure if you thought something was interesting in that deep dive to pick up this book, because there will be lots of fun facts in here. I do like the layout and how it progresses, obviously, from Jaws throughout, and it covers a whole host of different films, some more into the mainstream than others. I mean, Grizzly, I think a lot of people have watched, and of course Cruel Jaws, super infamous one that we have covered for a Movie Monday episode. It also goes into like things like Alligator and stuff like that, where it's very interesting to see what the Jawsploitation cinema was coming up with. Not just shark films, but animal attack films, or in some cases machine attack films if you include like car or blades, stuff like that. But then there's lesser known ones, and those ones I think are more like pike or barracuda. And for me personally, I think a lot more of the stuff regarding sequels to Orca. I know previously we have talked about like King Kong versus Orca and that book, but there were some other ideas and some wacky ones that kind of fed along into like the spoofiness of what could have been Jaws 3 People Zero, which I think is one that has started to gain some appreciation in the mainstream as far as like people knowing about it. And perhaps it's because people have read Jaws Unmade. You know, it's something that has come out. But it does cover projects much more recent, including The Meg. It's a book I've read. I haven't, I guess, done a proper review on the channel, but we have talked to Steve Alton on the channel there. So it was interesting to kind of see the development, because I do remember picking up that book before our trip to Arizona, I think in 2008. And it was the cover mentioned in here, as far as the T-Rex being attacked by the Megalodon, and reading it in a day. And on that one, it did say soon to be a major motion picture. Now, seeing the model in here that, you know, was going to be used for one of the incarnations of the film, it's a good thing it wasn't made. I also really enjoyed the parts where it talked about like the other Benchley ones, specifically like the Beast and Creature ones I remember watching as a kid on TV, and other like notorious ones, as well as just how many incarnations Jaws 2 and 3 went through. It's very fascinating. We could have just had very, very different world of shark films. And of course, it's something we've brought up many a times, including most recently even in our Jurassic World Rebirth Culz Talk Pop Culture episode, where it's been 50 years and Jaws is still that benchmark shark film. Nothing has really come close. There's been some, I guess, okay or watchable ones, but nothing has topped that film. And it starts to make you wonder, will it, and what will be the reaction when inevitably they do remake Jaws at some point. You know, John ends his book that way. I know Brandon Tenold had done a review where he said eventually, someday, somewhere, they will remake Jaws. And will it be good? I know King Kong has had ups and downs with remakes. We know Crow was terrible. So we'll see. But yeah, just a shorter little review. It was one I was really excited to read, and it is signed. I guess I didn't show that, but yeah, it was signed by John. Like I said, one of the first books I purchased from him, along with Kong Unmade, as well as his Billy the Kid book, his trilogy that he was starting back then. But yeah, I was really excited to read this. I think Kong Unmade, just a hair higher. I believe I rated that 9 out of 10, so I would say this one's 8.8 out of 10. It's close, and it definitely made me go buy some more Shark Blu-rays, so I don't know. If you don't want to end up buying more movies and watching more film, do you want to pick it up? I don't know, but I did, because I love film history, and I think John does a good job, and if you can make me go out and want to watch something else, I think you did your job, you know. Plus, you're going to learn some cool facts that, you know, if you want to talk Jaws, or you're a big fan of Jaws or Jawsploitation, should be the book for you. So I recommend it. 8.8 out of 10. Go read it. And yeah, John actually has a brand new book. We just had a preview of it go live on the channel. So click that link above, and I'm sure, hey, stay tuned. You'll probably see that review dropping here shortly as well. But until next time, guys, for more Culz book reviews, click that link to your left. For more about us here at Culz Paranormal, click that link to your right. And don't forget to hit that like and give us a subscribe. And let us know both what has been your favorite John LeMay book, and is there a Jawsploitation film that's not Jaws, obviously, that is your favorite. Tell us in the comments below.